What's in the box? It's something Tamiya. Let's open this box and see what's inside. I've been waiting a while for this, and at first I didn't know what it was, but then I looked back through my orders and I was like, oh yeah, I had ordered that. This is going to be pretty cool. Yeah, so it's a Tamiya product. It's not a mini four-wheel drive product, but it is a Tamiya product, and it's going to be really, really cool. So let's take a look at what's inside the box. I ordered it from A-Main Hobbies, and so far it's got the best price so far, A-Main Hobbies, for this particular product. So yeah, very, very cool. Okay, so first things first, complete your Tamiya TT02 with these must-haves. So here is, yeah, this is a card with all of the upgrades that you can get for the Tamiya TT02. So some of these things that you can get an 8-channel 2.4 gigahertz radio system with a receiver. You can also get Yokohama tires. Yes, touring tires right here. So yeah, the receiver transmitter is $329.99. Whoa, that's crazy expensive. These tires are $33.99. There's also a high torque brushless servo for $131.99. Max traction compound. What's this? Tamiya TT02 steel front rear differential cups. Yeah, racing TT02 steel universal drive shafts. So all these things are, a battery for $67.99. So all these additional things that you need to purchase to get this up and running. So you might have guessed what this is by now. And yeah, if you didn't guess, then you're going to see what it is. Here it is, everybody. It is the new Mini Cooper RC car from Tamiya. Yeah, very, very cool. Based on the TT02 platform. Very, very cool. Now, some of you might be wondering, like, is this thing pre-assembled? No. Tamiya RC cars are typically in kit form, so you have to build them, and it's going to take a while to build this. So I'm going to take my time building this thing because it's one of these things where, like, you spend a lot of money on something and you want to take the time to make sure that it's done right. So let's take a look at the box itself and see what features this car comes with. Now, before we go into that, let's talk about the price of this. So I've seen this at a list price of $134.99, and I got it for something less than that. And then for some odd reason, the MSRP raised up to $184 on their website. So I'm not sure what the price is anymore of this thing. But when I bought it, it was like a pretty sweet deal, and so I had to get it. Yeah. And yeah, very, very cool. So here it says tune-up parts on this section. It says not in the kit. And you can get various wheels, tires, various parts, springs, shocks for your car. As well as this, there's a separately required items section. You need a transmitter, servo, receiver, ESC, I don't know what that is, battery pack, and battery charger. So in this box here is the stuff that you need in the red box. In the blue box are the tune-up parts that are optional that you can purchase to make this perform better. Very, very cool. And on the other side, there's the MB-01 chassis, description of that. So I thought this was the TT02 chassis, but I may be wrong. Okay, so here, the MB-01 chassis, it says the compact two-wheel drive MB-01 chassis gives a choice of 3 types of wheelbase and front or rear wheel drive system without removing the battery pack, motor, and RC equipment setups from the center frame. Simply change attachment directions of final gears and steering linkage to switch between front and rear wheel drive. Low or high motor position can be chosen for rear wheel drive cars. The 4-wheel double wishbone suspension features symmetrical structure and friction dampers. Unitized sections such as motor mount, final gears, and suspension facilitate ease of assembly and effective maintenance. I don't know why some of these translation manuals, like, they never appear with such, they never, like, are translated with such elegance like this, right? Like, you see a number of Japanese to English translation manuals, and they never appear as good as what we just read right here. And I don't know why, but that's just something that I've noticed. So then it says MR, midship rear motor rear wheel drive. And let's see, I can't read it, it's too small. Oh, it says here, the MR layout is a rear-wheel drive setup with front battery pack and rear left motor. Rotating motor mount unit 90 degrees switches between the standard low motor position and the high motor position, featuring more traction. Okay, cool. So here, it's describing how you could position this battery pack so that it's lower or higher on the model. So yeah, so one can learn a lot about mini four-wheel drive cars by basically studying how RC cars function. So Tamiya has been in the RC car market for a long, long time. So I'm sure that many of you who've purchased Tamiya radio-controlled cars have learned a great deal of what makes an RC car like perform really well. So with that knowledge, you can take it into the mini four-wheel drive world, where although you're not radio controlling a car, you are basically building something that's stable and solid and runs fast. And so a lot of your skills that you'll learn with your RC cars, such as this one, can translate well to the mini four-wheel drive world, and vice versa. So pretty darn cool. So here we have FF. It says front motor, front wheel drive. Okay, so so I guess it's trying to tell us that you can shift things around and you can make things front wheel drive, or rear wheel drive, or mid wheel drive. So FF front motor, front wheel drive, and it says here the FF layout is a front wheel drive system with front right motor and rear battery pack, which gives stability in conjunction with optimal weight balance provided by the front end mount motor. Okay, so those of you who know this know that a Mini Cooper, like the ones that you see here, actually the new Mini Coopers are front wheel drive. I'm not sure about the older Mini Coopers. They're probably front wheel drive too, or mid design. I'm pretty sure they're not rear. So typically like BMWs are rear wheel drive, except for the very newest ones. But those are questionable, that if they're really BMWs or not. They're BMW by name, yeah. But all you 2 and 4 Series owners, please don't hate me. So yeah, you've got different options here, and that's pretty cool. So you can adjust the options and make the car perform the way you want it to perform. If you like rear-wheel drive cars, then you can convert this kit into a rear-wheel drive car. But know that for those of you who are like aficionados of Mini Coopers, you'll probably want to make your car perform kind of the same way as the real Mini Cooper. So yeah, it's very nice that they have this possibility to do so. So that's on the other side. So 3 different wheelbases, short, medium, and long wheelbases. Pretty cool. And yeah, those of you who know Mini Coopers know that you've got a short wheelbase on a real Mini Cooper. So you'll probably want to use the shortest wheelbase you can on this kit here, because the original Minis, the classic Minis like this one, they have an even shorter wheelbase than the modern Minis. So that's something to consider. So on these side panels here, no additional information. Now let's take a look at what's inside this kit. So we're going to open it now. So let's see, it says ESC produced by Hobbywing included. So on this box over here, it says that ESC is required. And yet on the front of this box, it says that the ESC is included. I have no idea what an ESC is. We're going to find out. And yeah, we're going to go from there. So yeah, it's pretty funny and frustrating, I know, watching this video perhaps, because some of you might know what an ESC is, some of you might know what a servo is, and things like that, and I have like some idea of these things just because, like a servo in robotics, I know what that is. It's probably very similar to this as well. And yeah, so sorry about that. I'm not an RC car junkie like many of you might be, many of you who want to basically see this kit, but are frustrated with me not knowing all of this terminology. I know mini four-wheel drive terminology for the most part, but not RC car terminology, so I apologize for that. So let's throw away this plastic here. There's Doggy. Okay, here we go. Let's see what's inside. It's a big box. There we go. Yes. Oh, nothing like the mini four-wheel drive boxes where there's usually some things, funny things printed on the inside of the box. Okay, so one thing that you'll note on here is the color of the model right here is dark blue. So do you get a dark blue shell with your model? No, it is a polycarbonate shell, so it's clear plastic, and you get to paint this whatever color you want. So if you want to paint it dark blue, you can. If you want to paint it another color, you can. I have a red Mini Cooper, and I would like to paint my car in a red color. Now, that may or may not work depending on how the decals are, right? So if the decals have any sort of dark blue in them, then it might not work well with a color different than the dark blue suggested color on their box. So I'm going to have to take a closer look at what the decals look like. So first things that we get in this box, here we go. Parts. So this would call like the A parts in mini four-wheel drive terminology, these parts here. So yeah, very, very cool. Then we've got packaged with tires. They're squishy, yes, very, very nice. Nice soft rubber tires. And then we have the shell, the body shell right here. And that covers up a whole bunch of other parts here. And then we have more packages of things with what appear to be metal things inside, plastic things. And, oh, what's this? Is this the so-called ECS thing? I don't know, maybe. So there we go, some instructions right there. That might be the ECS thing, let's see. What is ECS? I don't know, I'm gonna have to look it up. So something about waterproof. THW 1060 RTR. RTR usually means ready to race. More parts! Ooh, the wheels! Very, very cool. Whoa, there's more stuff. There's like another section in here. See, there's like stuff in this additional section. Ooh, there's a lot more stuff. So, before we get to that section, there's this part here, the chassis components themselves, I think. And then we'll take this part out. And then we've got what's called RC parts bag. There we go. It's got shocks in there. And it's got, wait, it's got a motor. I thought I had to provide my own motor. Cool. Okay, so there's a big motor right there. And then you can see shock springs right here. And other things. Gears. Looks like there's cogs, gear cogs. And more A parts. And safety instructions. I think it's safety instructions. It looks boring. It's got to be safety instructions, right? Let's see. It says here, important information concerning this kit. Yes, safety instructions. And then the actual instruction manual. Ooh, so this is like a jumbo-sized version of a mini four-wheel drive manual. Very, very cool. On the back it says Mini Cooper Racing. Very cool. And so this is a 1/10 scale RC high performance car. Yes. And inside the manual here, it says S for short wheelbase. And let's see. Here we go. It's the typical stuff that you find in mini four-wheel drive kits. This thing right here, it basically tells you that you should seek an adult to help you build this thing. Don't try to assemble certain parts yourself because they could be dangerous. Don't let your kid brother eat the parts. Things like that. So it's all here in these funny cartoons here. Maybe they're not so funny. And there's a section here describing potentially what you need to radio control this car. A section on the tools you'll need to help build this car. How to charge the battery pack once you get it. Mounting the motor. And then they basically go into the building of this with the spur gear. Let's see. Attaching the pinion gear to the motor. Yes, so very, very cool here. And the rest of the assembly and it goes on and on and on, and there's a lot of stuff. Yes. And then it talks about, I'm so glad that the receiver and transceiver isn't also a kit. Okay, building the tires, mounting them onto the chassis itself. It's very similar to a mini four-wheel drive manual, I must admit. A little more complicated, but it's very similar. How to paint your model. Those of you who've built mini four-wheel drive models, you'll note that they don't go into extensive detail on how to paint a clear plastic polycarbonate canopy. This one does. This one goes through like all the details you need to do to be able to get your car to look like this, right? So that was always one of the things that I kind of like felt that mini four-wheel drive manuals should improve upon. which is the painting aspect of the car. Typically, the instructions don't give clear, precise instructions on how to make your clear plastic canopies look exactly like what you see in the box. And so that was always like troubling to me. And yeah, we could stare at the pictures all day and try to make it look something like those cars in the pictures, but I always felt like all they needed to do was add a couple more pages to the manual and describe how to paint your models properly. So yeah, and here's the finished product right here. It's very cool. And yeah, here's more funny instructions here. How to control your car. And here, some driving tips right here. And basically an overview of the MB-01 chassis. Pretty cool. And let's see, more funny stuff in Japanese right here. And yeah, basically that's it. That's the manual. Now, what else is here? Oh, MB-01 chassis settings. Cool. So this manual here will show you about short, medium, and short, middle wheelbase and long wheelbase. So I guess because this is just an S, it's a short wheelbase. I don't think you can convert this to other wheelbases. Then there's MR or FF for midship rear motor or front motor front wheel drive. Now, all the things you need to do to adjust settings for each of these different chassis settings. So, lastly, there's a section on decals. And there's also this. It looks like maybe this is to help you cover up certain parts of the canopy so that you can paint the windows more easily. Maybe. So, and these are all the potential stickers that you get to put on your car to decorate it. Very, very cool. So let's carefully put all of these things back in here. I'm going to think about building this on a rainy day, and it's going to take me a year to build this, I'll bet. It's like a lot of stuff here. Yeah, a lot of stuff. I didn't know what I was getting into, right? There's like so much stuff going on here. But is it doable? I don't know. I guess it is. Yeah, I guess if I try to put everything back the same way, yeah, I think everything will fit properly, I hope. Huh. Voila. Cool. So, yes, that's the new Mini Cooper MB-01 chassis radio-controlled car in kit form. Yay. So everybody, if you like this video, please slam the like button, subscribe to my channel. You'll see more videos just like this one. Until next time, everybody, see you. Bye.